So this video I'm talking about the upgrade to the upgrade. So here's the parts. I'm upgrading this. Let's get into it. So a little backstory. I designed this to be as perfect as I could get it, where like you see how there's almost no kind of space in between there and it just fits perfectly. I wanted to get it where it just fit perfect, so I did. And then I implemented that into this, which is my game. And so like you would push this down and you'd so this is how you move them in between them. But the problem is like it's just so smooth, but also it just kind of flies off and there's nothing really holding it in there. So like theoretically they just fall off. That's not what I wanted. So I had to make some upgrades. This was the final upgrade. This was like what I thought worked the best is, so if you look here, they have as this little hump with an, gosh, this sucks, doesn't it? An even bigger little dot in the middle. And so you can kind of see it here. It has that little spot, and then in here there's that little cavity with a little hole in the middle. And as they fit on, they lock, and now they don't fall off. You have to give it a little oomph for it to come off, and this just helps, I don't know, keep it centered so that it's actually like, you actually have to play the game. You can't just let it fall. And it doesn't fall, which is way better. So this is the parts in SolidWorks. So if you open this up, you can see this is the channel plus the little hole. And then you go back to here, you open this bad boy up, and you look, there's the channel and the hole. And so they fit together, and I just had to kind of test it. So these are two different sizes, which is why these have two different sizes on here as well. So it's just to know which one fits the best. And yeah, just tested it out and tried to figure out how to make it the best and hold. But we should really talk about why I have so many different parts. So that kind of starts with me figuring out where I wanted to go first. So I started with these. For this part, I try to make it where I filleted these corners and then made this little tab. So if you look there, they got that little cut in the middle. And so then I want it to just fit in. It's almost too hard, and you have to be perfect. Like you go too hard. You got to get it right there. And it works, it's just not as fun, I guess. Here is a better view of it. So this is the female part. So as you can see, there's a little gap in there that holds the parts. And then these chamfers so that they easily fit into the part as well. And then over on the male part, I tried a couple different things. So I have these where they're on an angle, so they're chamfered, so they easily fit in and then easily come out, as well as adding a little chamfer on the whole side itself so that it would fit in easier. For some reason, having this full bar across just didn't work as well. So also they're shaped like this so that once I 3D print, these are small enough I can bend and break, and then I can have 5 different tests in one instead of having to print the individual pieces. So, but why I have so many is because I didn't know the best size to make the chamfer. So like here, fairly big one. Here, almost invisible to see, but you can just see that little edge right there has a chamfer on it so that it goes in. And so I made multiple different tests for this just to see which one was the best. That didn't work. The next way I went was with side tabs. So instead of having it on the top, it's on the side and pops out a little bit. Completely failed. Didn't work. There's no give, so they would just stick to it. So I have none that actually fit together. So here are the ones that are quote unquote tabbed sideways. That's how I named them. So as you can see, there are divots on the inside of it. This one doesn't, these two don't have any, but these three do, just because these ones are so small. So if we go back and look at these, whoops. So these do have tabs, it's too small so it doesn't go in. These ones are bigger, it's just they're so big that they actually don't fit inside. So this way didn't work. And again, I'm working on such a small level, I can't really have it where, say like this is cut out so it can move. Just because it's so small, I really need to find a way where it's just a solid piece and not movable. So that's another problem. The next way I went was little zits. Not really a zit, just a little circle, but just a plain sphere protruding out that would go into the other part. So in the solid model, this is what it looks like. It's literally just the little circle. And so the bigger it is, the bigger this divot is. And then if we open this up, just a circle. So it's really just a circle. And the problem with this is, again, no give to it. So you would just go to put it in, like put the two together, and that would just hit here and stop, and it wouldn't go in. And so there was no give, no nothing. So then that's when I thought of the newest way was with the rectangle. So then after having that debacle where it doesn't fit, I made it with the little rectangle. So yeah, it doesn't look like a rectangle, but it is. And so this is the right one. Nope, this one. So what happens is it just finds the pathway, follows it, and all of the channels, whoops, are halfway up to the sphere. So the center sphere for this one, I want to say is like 0.035. And so then that rectangle or hump goes up 0.0175 or whatever that number is. But it's halfway, so it's like it just makes it go in easier, and then you get that little hole in the center and it's perfect. So this is what it looks like in a better light. So we have sphere, cavity, kind of the same thing all the way across. And then we open up this. Now you have the rectangle with the sphere as well. So I'll actually show you this one. So this one is 0.03. That's a fairly small here. 0.03, and then this one 0.015. So that is exactly half. So somehow that sizing works. I just kind of threw it together, but it works. So that's what I did with all of them, and it just seemed to have the 0.035, which is this one, seemed to be the best. So it just worked, and I am actually happy because now I can make the game out of it. So now with the game, since I will have the tab that actually holds them, now I don't have to worry about these things falling off as much, and it's just gonna make it easier because, like, you see how sucky that is? Like, it moves so easy, just falls off. There's no, I don't know, kind of structure with it, and it's very annoying. And so, like, if you line these up, you theoretically could just make them all fall down and just go through. Not gonna happen, but it's pretty cool. So next thing is just upgrading all these to have the little tabs in it so that it makes it easier. So I also don't know if I'm gonna make these, so these different colors have different sizes. I'm debating if I make them with the new tab part or leave them smooth, like so you can easily move them down it. But I don't know yet, but we'll find out, so stay tuned. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, lots of parts, lots of little parts, and very tedious. But thank you. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.